Hi, it's Carly with Laughing Daisy Co. and today I'm going to show you how to make a cute wooden Valentine's Day decor. It's a little wooden kiss. Before we get started, I just want to go ahead and ask you to give me a quick subscribe and a little like on this video. That just helps me keep doing what I like to do. So this is our supplies. So I've got some apple barrel paint. I've also got this folk art matte white paint. I just want to use that for this nice little paper part. And then I've got Mod Podge, which is just the matte version so that I can use this to seal it off at the end. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, so first I'm going to start off by painting this Hershey Kiss base, that real red from Apple Barrel. I'm going to go ahead and I like to just kind of put that on there. I like to go with the grain. That seems to give it a really nice look. So I'll just put that on there. And then I'm going to kind of do a nice little swirl, but like this. Let's see. There we go. And I just keep going back, make sure that your last strokes are all going with the grain. So that gives it a nice uniform look when it's dry. Here's that one more time. We'll just finish this side. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to the paper part because that will allow me to give this kiss full coverage. And then I'm going to turn it and we'll get the sides. Make sure that when you do the sides, you might have a little bit bleed over onto the front or the back. And so what you want to do is just make sure that you kind of are aware of that. And you're going back and looking at the front and the back. So that was nice. There we go. Perfect. And then I'm going to just turn it over to this other side and get this. And I'm just going to make sure that as you're doing it, you end where the paper is going to begin. So get some nice paint on there so you have good coverage. I'm using a sponge paintbrush just because, I don't know, I just kind of felt like using one today. Sometimes I use just a regular paintbrush, but sometimes when I want a lot of coverage, I just go for these nice foam paintbrushes. They give you a lot of coverage fast, which is really nice. If you have any holes in your wood, just go ahead and just squish that paint into it and then just seal over the top with that nice wood grain following stroke. Like that, and we'll get this side. Make sure your strokes are going all the way across for those final ones so you get that nice smooth look. We'll just check that back side, make sure there's nothing that was doubling over. Alright, and I'm going to do the same thing here that I did on the other side and give myself a nice smooth edge. Just like that. The nice thing about crafting is there's not really a wrong way to do it. And as you're going along, you might find like that you don't like a certain look or whatever, but you can always paint over, you can always adjust and redo and change. Well, it's really forgiving, which is really nice. So I just missed this one little spot right here. Alright, so there's that. So there's my Hershey Kiss. I'm going to go ahead and set this to the side to dry. I'm just going to tilt it up on the paper side so that it can dry. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with my pink Hershey Kiss. If you don't get paint on your fingers, you're not really crafting, right? Just make sure you don't accidentally touch with wet paint. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing, but I'm going to do it with the pink. Okay, and one more time, a way to kind of make sure you don't get anything on your paper part, I like to just go from this top side where the paper is down, just like that. Perfect, and then we'll go into the sides. Make sure that if you get any overlap, you go back and brush that off. Get those nice strokes all the way across. If you want, you can do an additional coat. I think I'm probably going to stick with the coat that I've done. That will give me kind of a more natural looking wood look. I kind of like seeing a little bit of the green come through, but I know that's not for everyone. Alright, so there's my second kiss right there. I'm going to let that dry as well. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and we're going to paint this paper part. I mean, it's wood, but the Hershey Kiss paper. So I'm just going to get some white and go ahead and go with that wood grain again. Just going to paint that nice and white. If you have any splits or cracks, you're going to want to just kind of dab them. Dab them like this. There we go. Perfect, and I'm just going to turn it on the side. The sides need a little more dabbing. Really saturate those sides with paint to make sure you get everything. Go. Make sure you get in all the cracks. Remember when you're doing the edges, or the sides, right, that you're making sure that it's going to have a little bit of paint that goes over the edge. So you want to make sure you go back and smooth the front and the back. So that it's nice and smooth. So you can see right here, see how it's kind of dripped over? Just nice and smooth. Boop, fixed. Oop, and we've got a little bit of a mishap on this side. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint that just like that. Then I'm going to come back in with a little bit of pink paint. And just clean that up. You can wait for it to dry, or you can just very gently go in and fix that up. Just like that. Making sure we continue those long strokes across. Alright, so the pink one is finished. We'll just let that dry a little bit. We're going to go ahead and paint the paper on the red. I just kind of like to do these little side-to-side brush strokes when I'm getting close to where my edges are. That just helps me ensure I've got the control to not overlap onto the other sections, like where the red is. Again, nice and straight, all the way across. Check those edges, all the way across. Check the edges, and red is all done. Alright, there it is. Okay, so the last thing I did was I painted Mod Podge over both of these to give them a finished matte look and just seal them. Just dumped a little bit out, and I just used the same brushes, the same foam brushes, and just kind of slick that on across. And you just put it on like paint, and just make sure you have a nice even coat. And just like that, you've got 2 Hershey Kisses. So what would you add? Or do you like them just as they are? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to give me a quick like and smash that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.